Yes, you are live now. You can start.
Hello, good evening, one and all. Today we would be discussing about how to register PAN in Income Tax Web Portal. During our previous session, we were discussing about various things about EPAN, electronic PAN, how to take that EPAN, and what are all the importance. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so some technical issues in between.
Yes,
Now
your
in the
screen is also visible. The first page registration of PAN.
okay. Why? Because in attendees column it's zero. That's why now it is visible. Yes. So welcome back. During our previous session, we were discussing about PAN. Uh, then with regarding to the importance of PAN, how to apply for PAN, how to get PAN, difference between that physical PAN with that of electronic PAN. Then we went on to discuss with the various section provisions with regarding to submission of returns, section 139 and all we were discussing. So after discussing about the preliminary provisions, now let us move on in the second day of our session, and we would be moving on to discuss with how to register a PAN with the income tax web portal. So what I am trying to do is uh, screenshot by screenshot, I would be making you to know how to register the PAN in income tax web portal. For that purpose, income tax web portal, you have to select in that income tax web portal, eportal.incometax.gov.in is the website wherein you have to do all the proceedings with regarding to income tax, every e-filing, e-payment of taxes, e-returns, every sort of things you have to do within this e-portal. So there eportal.incometax.gov.in you would be required to select. So after selecting or after entering onto this web portal, then you may see under home register PAN option would be there. You may see, do you have an account? Otherwise register. Topmost position itself, you may see this option. So if you click on to this button, register, then automatically you may see this taxpayer others. Taxpayer as far as we, the PAN holders are concerned, are taxpayers only. So we would be required to enter this 10-digit PAN. So after entering this 10-digit PAN, you would be required to click the validate option. So the screen is visible to you. Somebody says the screen is frozen. Can you see the first screen? Can you do message? Yes. So in this, let's get started. You would be required to type a PAN. Afterwards, you type, you click on validate option. Under that validate option, you can see if the PAN and Aadhaar is not linked, or if the PAN typed by you, the number typed by you is wrong, then you can see it would be an invalidated PAN. But in case the PAN is proper, if you have entered, then automatically the second window would get opened. You may see after clicking this validate, PAN validated successfully. You can see. In this way, you have to validate the PAN first. After validating the PAN, you may see the next option. Please confirm if you want to register as individual taxpayer. So there, if you are an individual taxpayer, then click on yes. If you are a partnership firm or a private limited company, etc., then you would be required to click on no option. I was telling you the fourth letter of the PAN reflects the personal status. If the assessee is an individual, then fourth letter would have been P. Now it is P, so definitely yes, it's an individual. If fourth letter would have been C, then company is the personal status. If it is F, it's a partnership firm's PAN. Likewise, you can identify the status by seeing this fourth letter alone, but in PAN, every other particulars would be written. Anyhow, just by seeing the PAN, you can identify the what you call a personal status, what I was supposed to tell you. Then, so it's an individual, so you click yes. After clicking yes option, continue you go, the preliminary verification would come. Preliminary verification would come. So I was mentioning you in the previous session also regarding the mandatory linking of your PAN with the Aadhaar. So your Aadhaar should have to be linked with the PAN. So that PAN obviously it should have been linked with an Aadhaar either at the time of application of the PAN or older PAN. There was certain critical due dates wherein you have to link your respective PAN with the Aadhaar. So now, if a PAN is a validated PAN, automatically yes, such PAN would have been linked with the respective Aadhaar. To that Aadhaar number, one mobile number would have been registered. So to that registered mobile number, after clicking this button, you would be receiving 6-digit OTP, one-time password, 6-digit OTP it would be. So you can see 6-digit OTP. Afterwards, you may enter that 6-digit OTP as a SMS, which would be generated to that Aadhaar linked mobile number. After linking, after getting that OTP in your mobile, then you just enter those 6 digits. It's a time-bound exercise. OTP generated would expire in 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes, you would be required to enter the OTPs. After entering this final first OTP, authorization OTP, then you would be led to the second window. All these things was in first window. You just entered your PAN, got validated, individual option you selected. Afterwards, OTP was generated to your Aadhaar linked mobile number. Then you would be led to this second screen. In the second screen, you are required to enter the basic details of PAN holder, including name, date of birth, in case of a non-individual, partnership firm, company, etc., date of incorporation. So if you are a gender individual, then gender, male, female, but for any other sort of entities, this gender status need not be done. That option would not be there. Then in case of non-individuals, the principal persons, PAN, etc., you would be required to enter. So here we are registering PAN of an individual. Thereby you may see 3 columns, 3 respective columns for name, first name, middle name, last name. So the last name is a mandatory, surname is a mandatory column, first name and middle name non-mandatory. But anyhow, this first name starts with V. So that way, if you're having 3 or more words in your name, if you remember how applied for PAN or how it appears in your PAN card, on that basis, you would be required to give this letter word to be as last name, first name, and the remaining to be as middle name. So in this way, you have to properly enter that name in sequence. In that way, if you enter that name, then automatically, yes, afterwards you have to select date of birth. Date of birth you would be required to select. After selecting this date of birth, you can see gender details. You are a male, female, or transgender. In that way, you have to select anyone among those options. Afterwards, you have to select whether you are a resident or non-resident. Kindly do mind, for a non-resident person, if you register, unless and otherwise you are changing that status to be resident, it would be under international taxation ward. So due care has to be inserted if you select while selecting whether it to be a resident or non-resident. So you know how to select this residential status, how to determine this residential status. Section 6 of Income Tax Act deals with selection or how to the criteria for determining individual to be a resident or non-resident. 2 basic conditions, 2 additional conditions, etc. I do hope you know. 2 basic conditions. In India, he should be more than or equal to 182 days in the preceding previous year, relevant previous year, or second basic condition, 60 days during the relevant previous year, 4 years prior to relevant previous year, 365 days he should be in India. These are the 2 basic conditions. Anyone among those basic conditions, if they satisfy, if he or she satisfy, then they would be classified to be as a resident. But an Indian citizen who goes abroad, who leaves India for employment purposes as a crew of an Indian ship, or somebody who comes to India, Indian citizen comes to India to visit India. So instead of second condition, 60 plus 365 days condition, they would require to satisfy the first condition, 182-day condition. So in that context, if they satisfy any one of those basic conditions, then they would become a resident. Now, certain amendments had take place in this basic conditions. Two amendments are there. First one, instead of 60 plus 365, if that citizen is having income more than 15 lakhs, if they are not being taxed elsewhere in the world, then instead of 60 days, 120 days would be there. So 120 plus 365, if they do, instead of 182, even though they are went for occasion, that can be treated to be as a resident, not original resident. Plus another exception, 61A, deemed resident. Somebody say some issues in voice. I don't think maybe you're on gadgetal issue. Otherwise, the department would have informed. So kindly do check on your gadget. If the issue persists to any other students, kindly do inform. I do hope my voice is not breaking to any others of you. So what I was trying to tell you is determination of residential status. Two basic conditions in order to decide whether such individuals are resident or non-resident. So first basic condition was with regarding to 182 days in India. Second basic condition, 60 days plus 365 days. Any one of those basic condition, if they satisfy, they would become resident. But those persons who are going abroad for employment purposes and visiting India for Indian citizen visiting India for vacation purposes, first condition would require to get satisfied. Then this two exceptions I was mentioning. One with regarding to 120 days condition. Second one with regarding to section 61A, deemed resident condition, wherein if your total income in India is more than 15 lakh, it is not being taxed anywhere outside India, and even though a single day you have not stayed in India, even though you are not satisfying any of those conditions, then again the person would be treated to be as a resident. 61A, definitely yes, you may have learned in your or learning in your intermediate syllabus. So now everyone kindly do type me two basic conditions and two exceptions. Kindly do type. What are those two basic conditions? In short, you try to type in your chat boxes. Kindly to try to interact. And only I would get a feedback that you are all listening to me. Two basic conditions. Kindly do type. Which are they? Exceptions we can type it later. Two basic conditions you type. In the relevant previous year, individual should have been in India for more than 182 days. First basic condition. Second basic condition, 60 days in the relevant previous year. During the 4 back years, 365 days. Whether they have to satisfy both conditions? No. Any one of those conditions, if they satisfy, they would require, they would be classified to be as resident individual. So kindly do type, my dear students. Hope you are all typing. Two basic conditions. Kindly do type. 182 days in the previous year, first condition, or second condition, 365 days, 60 days in the previous year plus 365 days in 4 previous years. Yes. Good. Thank you. So these are the first basic conditions. Then instead of second condition to be satisfied, certain person have to satisfy first condition itself. Those who are leaving India for employment purposes, who are visiting India, Indian citizen, then first condition has to be satisfied or would not be applicable. First condition would have to be satisfied to classify them to be a resident. So this is the first this thing. Two exceptions I was mentioning. If they are having income more than 15 lakh rupees, deemed resident, and 120 day conditions I was mentioning. Then those two persons, 120 days as well as this deemed resident under 61A, automatically would become not ordinarily resident. So these residents are subclassified into two. So either you are a resident or non-resident. Once you are a non-resident, end of it. But if you satisfy any one of these conditions, then you would become a resident. Now the second step is to classify them to be not ordinarily resident or non-resident, not ordinarily resident or ordinarily resident on the basis of two additional conditions, 730 days in the last 7 years. After 10 back years, 2 years he must be a resident or she must be a resident, then they would be said to have satisfied both additional conditions. If both additional conditions are satisfied, then they would become ordinarily resident. Otherwise, they would become not ordinarily resident. And any of those exception situations, 120 days exception situation I was mentioning, 618 deemed resident I was mentioning, in such situation also they would become not ordinarily resident. So this is wherein individuals are subclassified into 3 types: resident, ordinarily resident, resident, not ordinarily resident, as well as non-resident. You know all these steps. I just brushed all those basic concepts. That's it. In this way, after determining their residential status, you have to select whether they are resident or non-resident. So why I was mentioning all these things are, even though there is no single day stay in India, but due to this provision 61A provision, automatically they would become an not ordinarily resident via deemed resident status. Not ordinarily resident is also a resident. So in this way, you would require to select the residential status. Whether you are a resident or non-resident, you would be required to select. After entering resident or non-resident, then the next basic things, you are required to give mobile number, to whom it belongs, on mobile number, spouse mobile number, fathers, mothers, brothers, friend, etc. you can give. Likewise, you have to give the email ID, whether it belongs to your then self, otherwise spouse, all those email ID whose it belongs, you have to give. Then the address, proper address, door number, road, PIN code, post office, area, town, city, district, state, etc. you would be required to give. In this way, address also along with mobile number and email ID you would require to give. Afterwards, again, you would be receiving 2 OTPs. 2 OTPs you would be receiving. One to the mobile number that you gave there. Next one to the email ID mentioned there. So in this way, you would be required to give the mobile number as well as email ID which was been given by you. You have to give the OTPs generated to those respective email ID as well as mobile number. So this mobile number need not be your Aadhaar linked mobile number. Rather, another mobile number you can give. But preferably if you give that Aadhaar number, income tax records also, the Aadhaar linked mobile number would be stored. Yes. So in this way, you are giving this mobile OTP as well as email OTP. Then you click on to this continue option. After clicking the same, this confirmation window would appear. All those details that you had given till date, till now, your PAN, your name, your date of birth, your gender, your mobile number, your email ID, your address, everything would be appearing in this verify column. If there are any issues, any spelling mistakes or any mistakes, then you can edit and you can go back to this fill details column back again. But if everything is proper, then you have to click this confirm option. After clicking this confirmation, automatically it would lead you to confirm this thing. Then finally, you can set password. Madam, everybody was telling do it practically. How to do it practically? You see, whether on the screen I can type all the details of a person who I want to do it and how I can generate the OTP practically during this thing. Already who have been registered, I had taken the screenshots and screen by screen how it would appear. I am actually pasted and I'm explaining you how to do it online practically. This is how it would be when doing practically also. There is no difference between the screens that I am showing and the screens which would appear if I am doing real-time basis. Everything cannot be done on real-time basis. So kindly you do listen what I am trying to tell. Instead instructing some other things to be done with whatever practically possible way I am trying to tell you. So kindly do listen to the classes instead of other diversions. My gentle, humble request. Yes. So in this way, the thing is, after verifying the same, after verifying those details, whether it is correct or not, after editing, if any things to be changed, afterwards, you have to set password for your income tax account. To set this password, how to have certain conditions are there to select the password. It should minimum have 8 characters. It should have both uppercase alphabetics as well as lowercase alphabetics. One number as well as a special character should be there. So in that way, minimum 8 digit, uppercase, lowercase, and one number numeric should be there, plus a special character, star, dash, etc. should be there. Then after doing the same, you can set a personalized message. Personalized message meaning any point of time, if you are logging in to your income tax web portal, then automatically this would appear onto your screen. In that way, if you had a set this password, it would appear at the time of logging in. So what message you want to appear? Just to confirm, this is your email ID, it's what you call income tax account itself. So in that way, you can set your web portal. For that thing, you can type, I am an Indian, I am proud to be an Indian. You can type, for Bharat Mata Ki Jai, you can type. And whatever thing that you want to type, personalize a message, you can type. In that sense, it would be appearing at the time of logging in. In this way, you all can register your PAN. So now how to do it practically, I would tell you. Now you all know how to apply for PAN. In the last session, I was telling you practically how to apply for PAN. So apply PAN for yourself. Afterwards, if you are having already PAN or after applying the PAN, you may be having your PAN on your own. Kindly try to follow the simple steps that I had already mentioned. So whether if I want to go through the slide back again, any further clarifications required, you may feel free to ask. If you are comfortable, then you tell me, we would be moving on to the next provisions, next topics we would be moving on to. So today for the last half an hour, I was trying to tell you how to register a PAN. So till now, any doubt you can see, you can tell, you can type onto the question and answer box. I'm waiting for your queries. No doubts. Also, you may type, tell me your feedback. Something everyone has to type. Almost 182 participants are there. Yes, after setting the password, we are good to go to our income tax account and it is ready to use. I would show you. Afterwards, I would be onto the income tax web portal account itself. How to do it and all that I would tell you later. As you rightly mentioned, after doing this, you would get it. I would share some. Tanisha was telling notes. I would share with the Board of Studies. They may be sharing to you. Kindly do show slide 1 and slide 2. Definitely yes. I would re-explain all those things that I had told till now. I would re-explain for some of the students' sake. Yes, others kindly do listen again. You may be getting some other points. Yes. Registration of PAN. First thing, you have to go to this web portal. eportal.incometax.gov.in. You would be required to select. Under that, register option would be there. Taxpayer PAN you would be required to type. We have to select validate. Then when the PAN is registered to a valid Aadhaar or this PAN is typed properly, all those things, then validated PAN would be validated. If PAN is validated, then you have to select what type of person you are, individual or not. If you are an individual, I was telling you how to know about this personal status. Then you click on to this continue option. Afterwards, initial OTP would come to your registered Aadhaar mobile number. So there is no option to give some other numbers. Rather, you would get this Aadhaar registered mobile number. You would be getting the details. Then, after initial verification, the details you would be required to give: name in proper chronology, date of birth, gender status, residential status. You would be required to give. Afterwards, the mobile number, email ID, address in proper you would be required to type. Then to the mobile number given here, email ID given here, you would be receiving OTPs. Afterwards, verification would come. You have to verify whether all the particulars given till now is proper or not. Then if you confirm, you have to set the password and you have to confirm the password also. Then you would get this personalized message. This way, totally, you would be receiving, you would be registering the PAN, then you would receive successfully registered message to your mobile number as well as email ID given. Afterwards, your PAN is registered with income tax passport. Yes. Now some doubts in the chat box. Ashish Agrawal, if one person is working in Dubai and he wants to sell property in India, is buyer required to pay TDS at 12.5% and 4% cess? If he is a non-resident, definitely yes. The TDS is 12.5% plus 4% cess on the entire sales consideration. S is the answer. Naveen Kumarian, after clicking the non-resident, how it shows? As it same as resident only? Yes, if it is a non-resident also, same windows would be there. No distinction in the procedure. Either you are a resident or a non-resident, it's quite indifferent as far as PAN registration is concerned. Then Gigi Simon, open income tax web portal. Yes, all the procedures she has wonderfully articulated. So kudos to Gigi Simon. Then Shivansh Bharadwaj, sir, will there not be any problem if I try to do it? Absolutely no problem. Try it on your own PAN. You type everything. It's an web-based sort of this thing. So step by step, you can do it. So try to do it on your own PAN. Then risk would be lower. So kindly do try to do it. After completing it, doing it successfully, kindly do intimate in the next session so that others also would be getting motivated. Shivansh Bharadwaj. Then Anuj Naru. So in this way, we are registering our PAN with the income tax department. Yes, it is not only pertaining to this PAN. The next sessions we would be dealing with TDS provisions. Then for TDS provisions, TAN is the tax collection account number. So TAN also would be registered in the same way in this income tax web portal itself. So this is the practical way that you have to register TAN as well as PAN. Yes. Then some anonymous, is it mandatory to file return after we register on PAN? Again, answer is no. Just by having a PAN, just by registering your PAN to the portal, it is not mandatory to submit the returns. Who are all the persons who are required to submit the returns? Already I have mentioned under section 139. Only those persons are mandatorily required to file the return. Even though you are not mandatorily required to file the return as per 139, but if you want to file the returns voluntarily, then also you can file it. But if you are not mandatory to do it as per section 139, if you doesn't wish to do it, then you need not do it. No other actions would be initiated against you. Then how we can check he is a resident or NRI? The section 6 already I was mentioning. Dear Ashish Agrawal, I was mentioning you have to take the passport. In passport, whenever he comes in, whenever he leaves India, in the airport, immigration agencies would be there. They would be fixing the seals. So out from India and into another country, 2 seals would be there. Back from that country, back to India, 2 seals would be there. In that gap between those 2 days, he is deemed to be outside India. So in this way, using his passport, with these seals affixed in his passport or her passport, you have to identify. In your intermediate problems and all, you may have seen he left India on this date. He came back to India on this date and all you may have seen. So in the passport, Ashish Agrawal, you can see such affixations, and on that basis, you have to compute number of days in India. Hope I am clear. Sir, can you show how to register a TAN? During TDS provisions, definitely as if time permits, we can do it. Everything is same provisions only. This is a web-based, screen-based sort of this thing, step by step, just as if everybody have an email ID, isn't it? Everybody do have got an Instagram account, isn't it? Everybody do have got an Facebook account, isn't it? Now in the chat box, kindly do text how many do have got Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts. Kindly do type yes. Those who are having Insta accounts, those who are having Facebook IDs, kindly do type yes. Quick. Those who are having Insta IDs, Facebook accounts, do type yes. First class was missing, no issue. Recorded classes may be available. You may contact BOS. Yes. Type. Make it assure you are listening. Make assured others also you are there. Minimum 10 yes. Lot of yes. Both yes. So you are having, all are having 99.99% I am assured everybody would be having Insta ID as well as Facebook ID. So in that Facebook registration or Insta registration or while creating Gmail account and all, definitely yes, you can register your PAN also because all those fundamental details you are giving here, but here it's not a Facebook account, not an Insta account. So some personalized details also you would be required to give. After giving all those things, automatically you would be getting registered with your PAN, whatever you are having. So in this way, automatically, as if you are have registered in your Insta, you have done all these things, you can do it. Yes. Nikunj Sharma, again another question from Nikunj Sharma. Sir, if we didn't fall under section 139, which allows person to file IT return, then if you do for practice, is it crime? Or we are allowed to file ITR instead? We didn't fall under 139. Yes, you can. Suppose you are having only an income of 10,000 rupees. Zero income you are not allowed. System would not technically allow you to file a return with zero income. But if you are having 6,000 rupees income, 10,000 rupees income, 1 lakh rupees income, even though you are not required to file as per those 7th provision and all, you can type the detail and you can file the return. It is not a crime. Don't worry. Just for filing an income tax return, you would not be put into a jail. You would not be imprisoned. Don't worry. So in that count, for academic purpose, we can still do on, but critical care has to be taken while filing those things. How to file income tax return practically, as you all was mentioning. I have to do it on a practical basis. I would try to make you on a practical basis how to do it. I would make you to do it in the further sessions. Today, I would be familiarizing you with the income tax web portal. What are all the buttons? What are all the options in the income tax web portal? Next I think I would be familiarizing you. So it's not a crime, Nikunj Sharma. You can do it on your own, even though that income is lower than basic exemption anyway, you can continue to file your return. Yes, so many yes. So many yes. Sir, I am having 1.25 lakh for future and option loss. And if I show that in on my ITR, is that loss will carry forward or set off with other income? Yes, if you are having income this year, F&O is an non-speculative business loss, so it can be set off against any other income other than salary income. So in that case, if any income is declared during the year, it would get set off to those incomes. Otherwise, it would be carried forward to next year, provided you have submitted it within the time limit. Within the time limit, 139 one time limit, then only it would be carried forward. Will income from shares, stocks count? Yes, income from stocks already count. All those informations are there in income tax website. So in that count, definitely yes, everything would be counted. Yes. So only this many things to discuss till now. So for the time being, I do think you all learned how to register in income tax report. Now I am trying to share the screen. To tell you more about the website. Hope the screen is visible. Income tax web portal as such I have shared. Hope it is visible. Can I? The new tax web portal I have selected. Is it visible? Tell me fast, please. Is it visible on your screen? Income tax as such the portal. Is it visible? This is a real portal. Somebody was telling me to go through the real portal. Is it visible? Somebody tell yes. In the meanwhile, two questions are there. STCG income capital gain against STCG income capital gain. Also, you can set up if it's the business loss. But if it's a short-term capital loss, you cannot set up it against business profit. Sir, how can we know that there is a default regime or not in e-file portal? I didn't get you the question. Default regime, you can select while submitting the returns, you can select speculative business loss for 4 years, but F&O is not a speculative loss, it's a normal business loss, non-speculative loss. Yes. So in this way, definitely yes. You can see this screen, hope it is visible. So in this way, if you go, this is the portal, income tax portal. This is the home screen. This is the home screen. Lot of instructions are there. You can visit this income tax web portal. The web ID already I had told you, incometax.gov.in. E-web portal, if you go, it would lead you to this window, home, individual, HUF, lot of question and answers, FAQs would be there. How to file the return, guidance would be there. Then various forms ranging from ITR 1 to ITR 7 are there. So those things would be appearing in this return or form. Then income tax slab rates would be mentioned here. Then various details about deductions, how to update your profile, all those basic things, it would be there. For business profession income earners, for them also how to file the return, all those basic things would get appear. Then about senior, super senior. If you are more than 60 years, you would be a senior. If you are more than 80 years, you would be a super senior. Those basic details also would appear. Afterwards, if you are a non-resident, those things also, those details also would appear here. And if you are an undivided family, your sort of particulars, everything would appear here. For a company, for a domestic company, for foreign company, for non-companies, AOP, BOI, a firm, LLP. So for various status of persons, instructions, how to deal with income tax web portal, general instructions would be there. So you all can visit this income tax web portal. You try to familiarize those notes given here. Then apart from the associates who are filing their returns, the auditors, chartered accountants also have to register within this web portal. So as if we registered our PAN, we can do it. Then a lot of e-return intermediaries, tax return preparers are there. Those details. Then various other external agencies, RBI approved banks, central government, etc. are there for them. Then I was mentioning you about TAN, For TDS persons, they are required to have TAN instead of PAN. So that TAN registration, everything how to do it, all those things would be here. Then under download, we would come later. While filing income tax return, I would come to this columns later. For the time being, I am leaving this download option. Then help. If you want to know anything, you can type and you can search here. So search option is also available here. So back to home again. This individual HUF, all those things I had referred to you. Then the remaining options. Remaining options, you can see e-pay tax. E-pay tax. So e-pay tax, you type your PAN. You type, you receive an OTP. After receiving the OTP, you have to type OTP. Then if you click on continue, you see this way you can make the tax payment. Okay, I would share the screen. So everybody was telling only this thing was now whether this home page is visible. Quickly type please. Gmail page somebody was telling. Now whether the home page is now is it visible? Yes, yes. Sorry that I couldn't do it. You see here, I was trying to tell you about this home screen. Here you may see this many options. Can you see this? Individual HUF, under which you can see salaried employees. So all those guidance how to file income tax return. What are all the forms applicable? Various tax slabs. Various notes about deductions, 80C to 80U and various other exemptions and deductions. You would get the details about. Then you can update your profile. As telling as well as downloads would be there. As if you are individual, if you are having business or professional income, the basic instructions you can see. If you are a senior or super senior persons, then those basic things you have to. You can get those details from this page. Changes in taxing from options with other than individual HUF, company, foreign company, domestic company, the details would be here. Other than company individual HUF, if you are an association of person, body of individual, firm, limited liability, partnership, authority, etc. Those guidance, if you click, you can get from all those things. If you are a tax professional, a chartered accountant, if you want to audit, then registration would be there as if we registered the PAN. All these things you can do. As if chartered accountants, e-return intermediary, as well as external agencies also can register. And finally, I was mentioning you about PAN. Can you already know the TDS identification number, tax collector's identification number? So as if you registered your PAN also can be registered by using this option. Download option, income tax returns, I would tell you later. I'm leaving it. So these are all those basic things that you can learn. So my general request, you all kindly do. Brinda, the thing is, voice, I don't think it is breaking. Maybe some issue from your end. Can you try to re-login? Hope I'm comfortable to others. Kindly do mention me, please. Tell me whether my voice is breaking. So many messages. Am I audible? Now is it settled properly? Is it audible? Okay. So now voice is breaking. Is it okay now? Yes. So now I would continue that basic options already I have made you familiarized. Now if you see the other links in the income tax web portal, this is the income tax web portal. So already incometax.gov.in online portal, if you click, you would get onto this thing. So here itself, already we have all registered our PAN. So here is the option. Can you see this? Register. Under this register option, you go on. You may see the same columns that we had already done. Can you see this? You have to type the PAN, do validate, continue, you will get registered. So if it's already a registered PAN, I'm typing my mine. It would show, you see, the PAN already has been registered. Can you see this? And if you give the wrong PAN, then also that option would get activated. So in this way, already I had shown you how to register PAN and all. You try to do it on yourself. This is how you have to register your PAN. Then afterwards, if you go on, you may see quick link. Lot of other options are also there. Some among those things I would try to give you right now. First one being this e-pay tax. So how to pay income tax other than TDS, TCS? Advance tax you have to pay using various challans, as well as self-assessment tax you have to create a challan. So how to create those challans, how to make such payments voluntarily. For that sake, you have to type and confirm your PAN. You click on to this continue option. Then one OTP would be generated. You may see. So OTP would be there to your mobile number. After typing the OTP, it would get open to tax payment window. Here you may see various options for making the tax payments. There is option to pay advance tax, self-assessment tax, etc. After getting an order, if you agree with the demand, payment of regular assessment tax would be there. Any equalization levy, security transaction tax, commodity transaction tax, you can pay it here. If you are paying some fee, late fee, etc., or any other wealth tax, fringe benefit tax, etc., then you have to select it here. Therefore, if block assessment has been done, rate assessments has been done, if you want to make the payment, self-assessment tax for block assessment, here you would be required to pay. Suppose I want to pay some advance tax. You click here. You would be required to select the assessment here. So current, if I am paying advance tax, it should have been 26-27. And if I want to pay self-assessment tax for the relevant assessment year 25-26, I have to select this. So automatically financial year 24-25 assessment year 25-26 would appear. Okay. So in this way, if you select these options, then what type of tax you are paying? I am paying self-assessment tax. Can you see a lot of options are there? I am paying self-assessment tax. After selecting this self-assessment tax, it would ask you how much is the amount. Suppose I am typing 1 lakh rupees. Says 4,000. Then I can click on continue option. After typing the tax, now you may see a lot of options how I can make the payment. So many options are there. You may see net banking option is there. Now, if you select for online banking, net banking option, then you can select from which bank you are trying to make the payment. And if you are trying to make the payment using debit card, this many options are there. If you are making the payment at bank via challan physically, those details you would be required to give. If you are making any RTGS, NEFT, those particulars. If you are paying in via UPI or using credit card, in that way you can proceed it. So you select your bank and you start continuing. And after making it pay now, automatically it would lead you to those banking credentials. After giving that username, password, whatever particulars for making the payment. After doing the same, automatically the challan would be created and you would receive the challan. So I'm not intending to go beyond this point. So in this way, from this home button, we can give all those details to make or to create the challan or to make the payment, e-payment. So all these things from the home page itself, e-pay tax is the column. So any doubts till now? Hope it is visible. Hope I am audible. If you give all those particulars, if you register and if you make the payment, the acknowledgement that you receive is termed to be as challan. Yes. So sir, I do think that let us continue. So many other options are also there. You can go and check with. I was telling you to apply for PAN. So this is where you can apply for instant e-PAN. Can you see this? Instant e-PAN. You select. New e-PAN. If you want to get, you can go and click to this. For that purpose, already I was mentioning you have to give your 12-digit Aadhaar number. So if you give Aadhaar number on the basis of Aadhaar details, you would be receiving the PAN. So this is how using Aadhaar you can generate PAN instantly. So instant PAN is there. And if you want to verify whether your PAN has been linked with Aadhaar, if you want to verify somebody was asking, we make TDS payment from ePay only. Yes, this is one among the option. After logging in using that user ID password, PAN as user ID and password, you can again make the payment inside also. That thing also I would be showing you later. Is there any way, any fine or penalty would charge for failing to pay advance tax? Yes, for advance tax, if you miss to pay interest under section 234B as well as 234C is there. Back. So if you want to verify if your PAN is been is activated or not, again OTP I would be required to give. You may see your PAN is active and details are as per PAN. Can you see this? Hello. So in this way, you can or you would be getting whether your PAN is active. So try to give your basic details if you are all having PAN. Try to figure out whether your PAN is active or not using this window. So in this way, you can check. You can check this validity of your PAN by going through this many options. Hope you would all check your PAN status also. And if you're not having PAN, you would be applying either that instant e-PAN that I had shown right now, or you would be doing it on your own by registering your own PANs in this web portal and to check whether your PAN is valid or not. Would you check? If yes, give me yes. Type yes, please. Nobody is typing. Yes. Yes. Okay. Some yeses appears. So any doubt till now, you can ask. Otherwise, we are moving on to discuss how to go into the web portal and to know the basic details then. Okay, somebody have already checked. Good. Thank you. Good effort. Good attempt. Boundaries, Sanjay was asking about again advance tax. If your total tax liability is more than 10,000 rupees and if you are not a senior citizen, then more than 10,000 rupees you are supposed to pay advance tax. Now we are trying to log in. Log into the portal. After registering, what I am trying to do is I am trying to log in after registering the PAN. How to register and PAN and all we have already discussed. Now let us move on to login to the web portal. In that web portal, you may see login option is there. So in home page, you click that login option, you will be guided to this option. Login option. Under this login option, always PAN ID. PAN is your user ID. After clicking the PAN, you have to type the password that you had set at the time of registering your PAN. At the time of registering your PAN, you might have given that password. You select that password. You give that password. After giving the password, then you would get a log on to that income tax e-portal. Income tax e-portal. Any issues in sound? Am I audible now? Any issues in voice? Give me a quick feedback. Somebody was telling the voice is breaking. Is it clear? Hello. Any issues in voice? Tell me quickly, please. Give me a pattern rate answer. Now it's better. Yes, audible. So whenever issues comes, kindly do let me know. So let me continue them. In this way, I have logged in to the income tax web portal. You may see my name. Can you see this? Ajit Shivadas, my name. This is my income tax web portal. There, this is the dashboard. I click, so many options would be available. My mobile number, my email ID, my bank account details, contact details. Everything would be there. When I had logged in for the last time, when I am logging in for the next time, all those details would appear here. Then income tax calculator also. After giving the basic details, the income tax calculator would give you how much tax I have to pay. All those things in later classes I would make you to know. Tax calendar also. What are all the critical dates for events? It would be mentioning here. 31st of October. This many dates are there. In this way, tax calendar is there. Critical dates calendar is there. Then this way, if you select, you may see e-file option. Under e-file option, this is how you are going to file income tax returns. So after a couple of classes, I would make you to show how to file income tax returns. For that purpose, this file income tax return option, you would require to select. Then if you select this option, automatically it would lead you to the options for filing the income tax returns. All those things we have to, or we would be discussing later. Then any returns filed already, you can view it here. What are all the returns that we have filed and what are all the details of filing the returns. Then you can download the receipt, you can download the form, everything. What are all those things that you have to, that you have filed, all those things you can get those details. So already filed things you can see under this income tax returns. Then if you have submitted the return has to be verified. So electronic verification via OTP verification through Aadhaar linked mobile number, registered mobile number, bank linked mobile number, DMAT linked mobile number, etc. How to do it? E-verify return you can do. And there are two technical things that you have to understand. First one is 26 AS. Next one is AIS, Annual Information Statement. So two things I want to make you familiarize. Two things being 26 AS and Annual Information Statement. So kindly to type these two terms, two words. Everybody kindly to type 26 AS, AIS, Annual Information Statement. Please do type. Please do type these two terms. 26 AS. Also kindly to type Annual Information Statement. Form 26 AS. Annual Information Statement. Kindly do type. Everybody, you have to type. Please do type 26 AS. Form 26 AS. and AIS. (26AS) and AAS. Yes, the difference between 26AS and AAS I will tell you. 26AS and AS I will tell you. First, kindly do type. Yes, thank you. Form 26AS. So you now kindly to see this. This is Form 26AS. If I click on to proceed, here this is Form 26AS. Here you can select various assessment years and you can view it as HTML, or you can export it as text, or you can export it as PDF. So this 26AS or annual tax statement is nothing but total TDS deducted from you, total TCS collected from you, all those things. You can get the details under this 26AS AAS column. The difference between AAS and 26AS we would discuss later. For the time being, 26AS I had selected. So the assessment year 25-26 HTML, if I click and I'm clicking this view and download. Then if you see total TDS deducted, how much is the total amount paid? How much is the total TDS deducted? This basic figures would come up while looking at this 26AS figures. So therein, who and all have deducted the TDS, the name, tan of those respective deductors, how much amount they have deducted, and how much is the TDS deducted. All those columns, line by line, it would be appearing. So in this way, you would get the details of persons who had deducted the TDS. This is the first particulars in this 26AS column. Then, if you have submitted any forms in band regarding 15G, 15H, regarding non-PAN transactions, etc., non-deduction of TDS transactions, etc., then all those things would appear here. Then 194S, 194R, all those section related TDS would appear here. Then if you have sold any immovable property, TDS would have been deducted under section 194 IA and all. Those particulars would appear in this 194 IA, IBM. Yes, these are all self TDS columns. So in this way, a lot of allied information would be appearing in your 26AS. So now, my dear friends, after registering your PAN, you yourself can Was that 26 AS column visible to you? This is a 26 AS. This is a 26 AS column. Select the assessment here. View it as HTML import, view or download. You take that is who have directed the TDS, the name and TAN of those directors, total amount paid, total tax deducted, deposited, everything would appear. Likewise, some other options also would come up. So this is how this 26 AS would be. 26 AS, is it visible? Yes. So this way, from the income tax website, you register your PAN. After registering your PAN, you go in to select these options. You try to figure out this many things. Is it clear? Yes. Now, after discussing this 26 AS, now let us move on. Back to this portal. In this portal, apart from 26 AS, another thing that I had told you was with regarding to this annual information statement. Annual information statement. Annual information statement. For that sake, this annual information statement, the same thing appears here also. AIS. Annual information statement. So in 26 AS, only those fundamental who have deducted the TDS from me, how much was the amount? Those basic details only were being mentioned under those respective columns. Now we are going to discuss this annual information statement, tax information statement separately. The difference between AAS and TAS is all those informations which appears in AAS in a nutshell form, summarized form, would be appearing in your TAS. So all those critical information would be appearing in your TAS. So what are all those critical information? If you see various items, 28 types of items are there. Interest from savings bank, interest from deposits, business receipts. So these business receipts were nothing but TDS related transactions. Apart from their savings bank account, you see which are all the savings bank account the payer is having, how much interest has been received from those things. Any deposits are there, those details. Suppose I had sold any immovable property, those details. Suppose I had transacted with high value transactions, all those high value transactions, credit card, debit card transactions, purchase of securities, sale of securities. In that way, lot of information could be catched in this TAS, and its detailed report would be here in AAS. So AAS and TAS almost same. TAS in summary and AAS in detail. That's the difference. So this is how basically you would give these summary reports and annual information statement. So there are all those TDS, TCS transactions. So all those things which appears in 26 IS also would be appearing in this TDS, TCS. Then all those SFT transactions, specified financial transactions would be appearing. If I have paid any taxes, those things it would be appearing. If I have claimed any refund, those things would be appearing. Apart from which, if I have an employee, those basic particulars regarding salary, all those things also would be appearing. In this way, all those basic details for the purpose of filing the return as shared by different persons who are required to report to the department. There are various things that has to be reported. AR transactions are there. So all those AR transactions reported by various sub-registrar offices, various banks, various depository participants, various stock exchanges, etc. would be appearing here in your AAS. So the basic thing that you should understand is to get the income tax credit paid. Then for that purpose, you would be required to give the fundamental details. You should know the fundamental details shown in AS as well as TAS. So all the income which appears in AS, you have to show it in your income tax returns. You would get tax credit only on those credits which appears in your 26 AS. So TDS, you know, TDS is nothing but tax deduction at source. So TDS meaning in income tax sections ranging from section 192 to 196D, 192 to 196D deals with the TDS. So before making various payment, the payer is required to deduct a certain percentage of amount from such payment, and that amount has to be remitted to income tax exchequer. Then they have to file income tax returns also. So those TDS provisions and all I would be discussing in later sessions. But for the time being, you just listen. All these things are in your academical syllabus also. Intermediate syllabus paper 7 also covers all these basic points. So what is TDS? I am trying to tell you. TDS means tax deducted at source. Tax deducted at source, simply say for example, myself a professional, practicing professional I am. I had given a bill worth rupees, say 1 lakh rupees to one among my client, and that client is giving me 1 lakh rupees as my professional fee. So under this TDS provisions, one section 194J is there. J. That section 194J requires while making the payment, you have to deduct 10% TDS. 10% TDS you have to deduct. And after deducting the TDS, the remaining amount only he would be giving me 90,000 rupees. He would give it to me. Then what would happen to that 10,000 rupees? TAN and all I was mentioning, so that the person who is deducting would be having that TAN, tax collector's account number. So TAN they would be having. Using that TAN, they would be paying the TDS. They would be creating the challan. And quarterly, they would be required to file a return. How to file a return and all, after 2 sessions, we would be discussing TDS provisions, we would be discussing. So if that deductor submits the return, then that amount that has been deducted from me, 10,000 rupees, would be reflecting in my 26 AS. Only when this amount reflects to me in my 26 AS, I can take the credit for making assessment year's tax payment. So TDS is deducted at the time of making the payment itself. So you know, previous year assessment year concept. If I have earned some professional income in the year 24-25, the person who is making me the payment would have deducted the TDS, paid the same using various challans, submitted the TDS returns. So pertaining to this previous year 24-25, it would be reflecting in 26 AS for assessment year 25-26. So while submitting the returns this year, all those TDS amounts would be reflecting in my 26 AS. TAN, name of the deductor, along with the amount that I have earned from them, along with the amount of TDS, everything would be there. While submitting the return, I have to type all these particulars. For making my tax payment, I can take that amount to be as tax payable, as if I have created my challan, as if I have paid self-assessment tax, as if I have paid advance tax. This amount deducted from me and paid by my deductor also would be appearing in this 26 AS, and I can avail that amount to be as my deduction. So in this way, TDS mechanism plays. So while making a payment, somebody is required to, or me, if I am giving payment to someone, if I am making salary payment, if I am paying to a contractor, if I am paying interest amount, if I am paying professional fee, if I am paying some commission, on all those occasions, there are various sections in income tax ranging from section 192 to 196D, which deals with all these things. So using this TDS amount that I have deducted, I have to create a challan. E-pay tax, I have already mentioned you how to do it. Afterwards, what you have to do is you have to submit the returns, then it would be appearing in 26 AS. So this is how this 26 AS would be appearing. Only when that tax is appearing in 26 AS, I can take the credit and I can submit the returns, either for making my tax payment. For any excess tax deducted, I can get it as a refund. I can get it as a refund. This is how the whole mechanism works with. So this is what 26 AS is. Apart from the TDS deducted, all other information, high value transaction information. Suppose I have sold any movable property, purchased any movable property. Suppose I am having heavy credit card transactions. Suppose I have sold or purchased any securities in stock exchange. All those transactions would be appearing in my AAS. So income tax department knows lot of transactions done by me. So wherever TAN is required to be furnished, suppose I have purchased any car or any motor vehicle, I was mentioning you have to give the PAN. While cash depositing, I was mentioning you have to give the PAN. So all those transactions that you have done, the respective PAN would appear, or in that PAN, all these transactions would appear, and all those transactions cumulatively would be appearing in your AAS. So you should account for all those things, and by taking into account all those things only, you can start filing your income tax returns. So for the time being, just you try to understand the basic terms 26 AS, AAS and all. And if you have not underwent any high value transactions, your AAS would be nil only. 26 AS would be nil only if no TDS has been deducted from you. But certainly, yes, if you are having meager interest on this savings bank account also, those meager interest also would be reflecting in your AAS. So kindly do check about this. So Harsh was asking me to explain TDS with an example. This is how the entire TDS circle works, Mr. Harsh. So any doubt that you are having regarding the same, you may feel free to ask again back. So this is the fundamental thing with regarding to 26 AS and with regarding to annual information statement. Is it clear? Any doubts on 26 AS AAS? You see, you can download it. You can get it for this current year also. Various information would be absorbed here. Difference between TAS, AS already I have mentioned. From where to download? Download already I had shown you. Here you can download. Here you can download. So again, back to the portal. AAS. Now again, back to PPT. Or before which I would show you one. In the web portal itself, I had shown you outside web portal how to make the income tax payment. Within the web portal, is it visible? Within the web portal, you can type directly ePay tax. New payment you select. Same window which appeared while making the e-payment tax appears here also. So you can make the payment under this option also. So earlier, before logging in, the home page itself, I was making you to show how to make an income tax payment. Thereafter logging in this income tax the basic options itself, there is a window to make that e-payment of tax wherein you can make the payment from there. So both way you would be getting TAS, AS, Debanshu Ghosh, both will be one and the same. TAS is a summarized one, AS is an elaborated one. That's it. So in e-payment of tax option, you can get from this option also. Yes. Now, so today we learned how to register a PAN. Various steps already I had mentioned you. Then you registered your PAN successfully. After registering the PAN successfully, you went down to the income tax web portal, the general functionaries. Or some of those options I already have mentioned. The remaining thing, in the meantime, we would be discussing. Afterwards, we discussed with this AAS, TAS 26 AS payment returns window. All those things we have discussed. So today's my session over. Any doubts till now, you may feel free to ask. Any about assignment submission, no such instructions for me. I would inquire with BOS and would tell you later. This is Simon. Debanshu Ghosh, sir, why information in 26 AS and IAS match with each other but not in TAS? Both would be matching. All those informations will be matching. Sometime there may be some issues. This AS and TAS is not a foolproof this thing. There can be some errors. So before copying those information, you have to have the due diligence. So thank you for your patient listening. Last 10 minutes for your question and answer. Any general doubts that you have, you may feel free to ask. Otherwise, you can tell, we can finish it. Over to you, please. ITR filing, I would tell. GST also, it would be covered. 20-hour session it is. After income tax, it would come. Divagar. So hope you would apply for PAN. After my previous class, how many actually had applied for the PAN? How many do you don't have PAN? Kindly to apply for PAN. After getting that new PAN or existing PAN, you try to register PAN to the income tax portal. After registering, you try to get on to those options that I was trying to explain you today. Then only you would appreciate what it is. Physical feeling is a must. So kindly to go through. Divagar, again you ask what type of filing that we would be covering. Income tax filing, we would be GST filing, ESI, EPF filing, TDS filing. All these things we would be covering. No assignments given for the previous session. Kindly to try to get that recorded version and kindly to go through the session. Rajiv Ojha. Can non-declare income be filed to next assessment year? For that sake, you can update the return. Last session we were mentioning about the 139A. So update the return you can do. I have already PAN card, sir. Divagar, kindly to register your PAN, your AAS, TAS, everything you try to verify, 26 AS and down. As a student, you can go for income from other options, other sources. Any more doubt you may ask, otherwise we would have. But shall we? This was allotted for question and answer. If okay, wind up today's class. Okay, any students for your patient listening? We'll catch up you later. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you once again.